Going over to question one now. Here, this is a vocab question. And for vocab questions, you want to invent your own word to fill the space before you look at the answer choices. That forces you to really understand what you're reading. So let's go ahead and try it. Here, this person, a chemist who helped advance home refrigeration, made a substantial impact on society, but her place in our historical memory is perhaps more blank than that of this other person who invented the incredibly strong material known as Kevlar, an accomplishment for which she'll be remembered. So we're seeing the story of someone who had a major impact, but her place is perhaps more blank than this other person who invented an incredibly strong material, something for which she'll be long remembered. So the second person is clearly more important in the sentence than the first person. Now, if the second person is more important, how might we describe the first person in our own words? So there was a substantial impact, but her place is perhaps in historical memory is perhaps uh, more superficial. That's a word that I might use. Like, in other words, it's valuable, but it's not as valuable. And so that's what I've invented in my own words. And let's look at their words and see if any of them fit. So A, permanent, means it's not going anywhere. It's kind of the opposite of what we're going for. We're looking for a word that kind of downplays her role because there was this other person who had an even more important role. Tentative means sometimes temporary or a little shaky. My understanding of the game of golf was very tentative, so I didn't really play confidently. So that could maybe work. And by the way, for help with vocab, you'll find tools at gratefultestprep.com/practice, and you can click on the vocab tab to prep for an SAT. You definitely should be doing between 5 and 10 minutes of dedicated vocab practice per day. So tentative might work. Her place is warranted. Warranted would be if something is justified. So, this person received a lot of compliments, but it wasn't really warranted. It wasn't justified. So that doesn't really match what we're looking for. We're looking for something the opposite of warranted. Her place is a little secondary or shaky, superficial. And prominent, once again, is kind of the opposite. If something's very prominent, it's very big and noticeable. So someone may have a very prominent scar on their forehead that you just can't stop looking at when you see them. So in any case, we've kind of said things we don't like about A, C, and D, but tentative works just fine. So the answer here is B.